There's a kind of grief that doesn't come with a funeral. No flowers, no condolences, no permission to speak out loud. And yet, it's real. If you're a parent of an autistic child, there's a grief that you carry that almost no one talks about. Because the moment that you do talk about it, you feel guilty. Guilt for feeling it. Guilt for naming it. Guilt for even thinking about it. And today, I want to talk about this grief, not because your child isn't loved, not because your child isn't enough, but because you're human. Let's be clear about something first. This isn't about wishing that your child was someone else. And it's not about rejecting who they are. And it's definitely not about loving them any less. The grief that autism parents feel is about expectation, not about the child. It's about the life that you imagined before you knew. The conversation that you thought you'd have. The milestones that you thought would be achieved easily. The future that you pictured, even without realizing you pictured it. And when autism enters the story, these expectations don't just disappear, they collapse. And no one prepares you for the emotional impact. You see, the world tells parents, if your child is alive and healthy, be grateful. So when autism parents feel sadness, they think, what's wrong with me? They think, other parents have it worse. They think, I should be stronger. And they also think, I shouldn't feel this way. But grief doesn't ask permission. It shows up when something changes. Even when that change includes love. See, you can adore your child, love them immensely, and still mourn the life that you thought you'd have. Two things can exist at the same time, and they often do. You see, there are losses that don't sound dramatic enough, but together they add up, and they justify grief. For example, spontaneity, ease, simplicity, being understood by others, being able to blend in, not having to explain your child to the world. You see, you grieved the version of parenting you thought you'd have. The one where outings weren't calculated, where sleep wasn't a battle, where development wasn't constantly questioned and measured. And because these losses are invisible, it gets dismissed, but you feel them every day. And for many parents, this grief doesn't come at diagnosis. It actually comes earlier. It comes in small moments. When your child doesn't respond to their name. When other children move ahead. When professionals start using words like delay. And when you realize you're parenting differently, permanently. And sometimes it hits later, months or even years after coping. When you're finally out of adrenaline, when the exhaustion catches up, when you realize this isn't a phase, it's a journey. That realization hits and it hurts. And it's okay if it does. It's okay. Here's the part no one tells you. This grief actually exists because you love deeply. You're not grieving because your child lacks value. You're grieving because you care immensely. Because you imagine protecting your child from a world that isn't built for them. Because you see how hard things can be and you wish you could make it easy for them. That's not weakness. That's immense, unfiltered, unconditional love. And you see, when you can't name or identify your grief, it doesn't disappear. It turns into burnouts, resentment towards circumstances, isolation, emotional numbness, and guilt. And many parents push themselves to be positive. But positivity without honesty becomes pressure. And pressure breaks people. You see, naming grief makes you human. And it's okay to want to be human. Something important happens when you allow yourself to grieve. Your grief softens. It changes. It doesn't disappear. But once you release the expectations that you were holding on to, you can then start to grow. Because you start to accept the life, the journey, the situation. And from that place, many parents surprisingly say, and I'm one of them, I wouldn't trade my child for anything. And this isn't because it's easy. It's because the love for your child reshapes you. You are allowed to love your child fiercely. You're also allowed to feel exhausted. You're also allowed to feel proud, but you're also allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel grateful, but also allowed to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to choose one emotion. This journey is complex, but so are you, and so am I. You're a parent that's navigating a journey you never expected, yet you show up with a heart every single day, and that matters. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope there's some benefit that you can take from this. Any comments that you have, do let me know in the comment section below. I do respond to everyone. And take care, be safe.